Welcome back to the Wildfire video tutorial series. In this segment, we will look at the menu structure of Wildfire. Let's get started. Since this is an overview, details are covered in previous or later videos. At the top of the page, you will see a black bar which contains the menu structure of Wildfire. We will start by discussing the menu items on the top left and then move to the right. Depending on what your previous action was, View Website may be the first menu item to the left. When you click this, the website page that was last viewed appears. This is what the public would see if your website were live, except for the Wildfire menu structure. You may navigate around the website in this preview mode. Use the Wildfire menu to return to work on any part of the Wildfire system. The next menu item is Setup. Click on it, and 6 submenu items show below. Initial Setup will return you to the Initial Setup Guide, which you performed in the previous video, Set Up a New Website. Home Page takes you to a screen that allows you to choose the home page for your website. We will talk about this in a later video. Copyright is where you enter various details on contact, ownership, and copyright information. All of the information you add to this section will display in the Copyright and Contact page of your website. This page will be available to all visitors by clicking on the Copyright and Contact link at the bottom of every page of your website. This website is sponsored by provides the name of the sponsoring organization or sponsoring person. This is required. Website address or domain name of sponsor may contain the domain name of the sponsoring organization if there is one. For information about this website, email. You can put an email that will display when someone clicks the Copyright and Contact link at the bottom of every page on your website. Email is not required if there is at least one contact page with a link to click on the Send Us Your Comments or Questions link. You could put in an email from your sponsoring organization. It could be your own email, or we could create an email related to the domain name of your website. If you want a domain name email address, ask your implementation manager. Unless noted otherwise, copyright for all materials is held by. This gives the name of the copyright holder for most of the materials on the website. Other information. Put names and information here related to copyrighted material that has not already been covered with previous statements. It is especially important to properly acknowledge the copyright holder or owner of all materials published on a website. You can review the copyright video to understand more. Make sure you translate your information in each navigation language by clicking on the language selector links on the left. When you are done, click on the Save button. Scripture References allows you to use an alternate order of the books of the Bible on your website. You can make those changes here if you need to. Most people will not need to do this. Scroll down on the screen to see all the books of the Old and New Testaments. To reorder something, move the mouse cursor over the 4-pointed arrow to the left of a book name. While clicking and holding the mouse, drag the item up or down to the desired position. After you release the mouse, a warning message appears, prompting you to save your changes. Click on the Save button at the bottom left of the screen. We will discuss the other 2 items, downloads and guest keys, in later videos. The next menu item is Work with Pages. It has 2 submenu items, Overview and Add Standard Page, which will be covered extensively in later videos. Continuing, we come to the Work with Media menu item. This is where we manage video, audio, and playlists. Videos can be uploaded or linked to YouTube. Audio can be music or spoken files. We can also manage other files like images or PDFs on this menu. When you click on Work with Media, you will see 5 submenu items. The first is Media Library. Here you can view all your media, upload new media, or update any media you have already uploaded. The second submenu item is Add Media Item, which lets you add audio, video, or a playlist. We will demonstrate these first 2 options later in the video called Add Media to Your Media Library. The next submenu item is Files. Since you are just starting, you may not have any files loaded, but you can upload any file the system allows here. We will cover this more later in the video Wildfire Menu Advanced Options. The next submenu item is Encoding Queue, where you look to see video or audio you have uploaded. Sometimes it takes time for them to be rendered. You may get a message on your page telling you that your media is not ready yet. You can look here to see its status. We will talk about this more in Add Media to Your Media Library. The final submenu item is Other Media. This is a list of all the files that you have uploaded that are not video or audio. We will discuss that more later. The next menu item, Style Your Website, is where you can select or change various appearance items for the website. This was covered in an earlier video, Set Up a New Website. One thing to note on theme is that if you change your theme, you will likely need to go back and reselect your banner, background, color, and logo. Color was also talked about in the video Set Up a New Website. The submenu items Website Logo, Background, and Banner, which are theme dependent, will be discussed in detail later in the video Wildfire Menu Advanced Options. Website name and slogan were covered earlier in the video Set Up a New Website. If you need to upload new fonts, click on the Font submenu item. Then click on the Choose File button. Choose your font by navigating to your font file in the pop-up window that appears. The only acceptable font types are TTF or WOFF. After you select your font file, click on the Open button. The pop-up window closes and your font file appears next to the Choose File button. Upload and save your selection. If you look at the table to the right, you see your font is now listed. Assign your font as a header, text, or both. The next submenu item is Social Media. Here is where you set the social media icons that appear at the bottom of every page. When a website visitor clicks on one of these icons, he is directed to his own account at that social media channel, where he is given the opportunity to post a link to the page on your Wildfire website that he has just been viewing. Click on the box next to each social media item to have it displayed at the bottom of your pages. By default, your website logo image is displayed when a visitor shares one of your pages on his or her social media page. If you want to share some other picture, in the boxed section of the screen titled Share Image, click on the drop-down menu that currently shows Use Website Logo. You can choose an image already loaded on your website, or you can upload a new image. The final submenu item under Style Your Website is EU Cookie Pop-up. and it is covered in the Wildfire Menu Advanced Options video. The Website Languages menu is where you can add, delete, or modify languages for your website. When you click on the Add Modify submenu item, you can edit an existing language by clicking on the Edit button next to the language, or click Add a New Language to add another language. Click on Delete in the same row as the language to remove that language. The other tasks for this submenu were already covered in the Set Up Your Website video. Translate Interface is discussed in the Translate Interface video later. Help is only a click away, or you can add it to your favorites on your browser using the www.jaana.com URL. Now that we are done with the menu items, we should mention a couple of things. You can change your menu viewing from horizontal to vertical by clicking the button on the far right of the menu bar. This displays the menu on the left side of the screen in a vertical fashion. To return it to display horizontally, click on the same button underneath the vertical menu. As we have mentioned here several times, there are more advanced features that are covered in the Wildfire Menu Advanced Options video. Until then, watch the next video on how to add media to the media library. This is the end of this segment of the Wildfire video tutorial series.